All right, we now welcome a very, very special guest, a native of Aalborg, Denmark. This tendy was drafted 37th overall by your Ottawa Senators after they traded up 7 spots to ensure they got their guy. Since he starred for both the Medicine Hat Tigers and back home in Denmark during the COVID pause before making his organizational debut with Belleville, where he went undefeated in 7 starts. Mads Søgaard, welcome to Locked On Senators. How you doing today, man?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're doing really well. First things first, you're back home in Denmark following the season. What's a typical day in the offseason life for you this summer?
You know, after the season ended, I took about a week and a half off, and since then it's just been going back to work. So, I mean, like a typical day's workout in the morning, and maybe if I have some time, go hang out with some friends or play some golf or something like that, and then go right back at it and work out again in the evening, and then after that just spend some time with family and do it all again the next day.
Nice. Yeah, sounds like you got a good routine going. Now, when you're doing your workouts and stuff, are there other prospects or hockey players that you typically do this with, or do you mostly do it by yourself with a trainer?
No, I've had my trainer here. He's a really, really good trainer, and I work out with a couple of other guys. I work out with Nikolai Ehlers from the Winnipeg Jets as well. Work out with Joachim Blichfeld. Is just getting his feet wet for San Jose Sharks now. A couple other guys, like junior guys and pro guys here in Denmark. So we got a good little group, and we're all pushing each other every day to get better.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to see Nikolai Ehlers a lot when I was in Halifax the 2 years when he was playing there. What a good talent. So at least that means you got some high-level shooters that you get to play with or practice with during the summer months. But the way we like to do these interviews is rewind the clock all the way. Now, we're a goalie-friendly show. I started when I was 9. Pilsy strapped him on when he was 13. How young were you when you first played goalie?
Oh, man, I think I started out like playing hockey when I was like 3.5, and I had like a half season of playing as a player, and I think I've been a goalie since I was like 4 years old. So pretty much my entire life I've been between the pipes.
So what made you switch? Like you said, only half a season out there as a forward or a defenseman. What made you switch and be like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'll stay in my crease?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I was a very good hockey player, but you know, I loved everything about it. You know, you get to play the full game, all the nice equipment, and you know, at a young age, I was very fascinated by all of that, and just being able to play a full hockey game, which I thought was awesome, and also, you know, getting to know more about goaltending as I grew up. I like you know, the pressure it puts on you. Like you can be the difference in there, and sometimes you're the hero, and sometimes you're the bad guy. And I kind of like that pressure. I think it's a lot of fun, and I've just enjoyed it ever since I started.
So you're now, 6'8"? How many pairs of gear did you have to go through when you were growing up? I feel like it must have been every other year you grew out of your pads.
Yeah, I mean, I think my parents are happy where I am now, and they don't have to pay for my equipment anymore, because, oh man, I was running through a lot, and I mean, from pads to skates to gloves and pants and whatever. I mean, I was going through it all, and definitely. I think I had one summer where I really grew a lot, so that was like the biggest step. And obviously, I needed new equipment after that year. But I mean, throughout my young years and growing up, I was always a tall kid, and I always I was always a little bit further than the rest of the guys in my age group with height and everything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that definitely helps being a taller kid growing up. Now, did you have any family members or close friends that were goalies that inspired you, or even some Danish goaltenders in the area or that were playing in other pro leagues that inspired you to be a tendy, or is just I don't like skating and I'm a big kid, so I might as well get in the crease?
Well, you know what? It started out by my dad taking me to the pro games in my hometown here. We would go watch the hockey games, and this goalie that played in my hometown, his name was Martin Holst. He's a Swedish guy, and I just thought he was amazing. I still think to this day he's one of the best goalies that the organization of Aalborg has ever had. So I was really fascinated by him and how he was playing goalie and everything. So that inspired me a lot. But I mean, also just as I said, like just being able to play lots of hockey. I love being on the ice, and quickly figured out the goalie gets to be on there a lot more than just the players. So that was definitely a part of it too.
So you grew up Denmark. You played for the same youth organization growing up. Tell us about Mark Peterson, because I feel like he's played a big role in getting you to North America.
Oh, absolutely. I moved away from home when I was 15 years old. I moved 3 hours south to a city called Esbjerg, where I played this year in the lockdown too. And Mark was the head coach there for the pro team, and I was lucky enough to sign a pro contract, and I was just going to be the third goalie and playing the junior ranks with Esbjerg, and I did so, but I got to practice a lot with the pro team too, and Mark was there to help me out, and he was a big reason for me to take the step to go to the North American Hockey League and get my feet wet with North American hockey, because it is a different style of hockey and different kind of type of game. So very thankful for my year in Esbjerg and my year with Mark.
So then after Mark Peterson, so he was good friends with the GM and head coach Steve Howard of the Austin Bruins of the North American Hockey League. And reading a quote from him, he had never seen you play, not on video, not at all. So you just show up to camp. What was the experience like going to Minnesota and playing for the Austin Bruins for the first taste of North American hockey?
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of a surreal situation, because I don't even think I ever spoke to Steve before I showed up. And I was my billets that year were still on vacation when I arrived in Austin. So I had to live at Steve's house for, I think, like the first 10 days or something like that. So here I am. He's never seen me on video. I've never talked to the head coach or anything. And I just show up at his house and hey, I'm going to be living here for the next 10 days. So that was kind of a weird situation. But, it was a great year. I had a lot of fun going to Austin. And I think it was a big learning year. Just getting into North American hockey, seeing what it's like, what's it like to be on the road. I mean, the longest road trip we have in Denmark is, from Esbjerg is like 4 hours or something like that. And here you're on the road for a 12-hour trip or something like that. And you gotta get used to that stuff. And I thought having that first year and having an organization like Austin giving you a chance as a 16-year-old coming in and get some game action, I thought that was huge.
Yeah, I think it's a good transition to North American hockey. Like you said, there are some differences, but for me, it's crazy. Like you said, as a 15-year-old kid moving from Denmark and then moving to North America, especially the States, what was the culture shock for you as a kid? Not only moving away from home, but going to a different continent and different culture and food and stuff like that. What was some of the things that really surprised you when you got to North America?
Well, I honestly don't even think there's too many surprises for me, because when I moved away from home the first time, it was honestly like a preparation year. I knew I wanted to go to North America after that, so it was more of getting used to being away from home, seeing what it's like. I mean, instead of having 6 hours difference and being very, very far away from home, it's a 3 hour drive. if you have any trouble, your parents can be coming down. They'll be there in 3 hours. It's not like when I'm in North America, if I have any trouble, we have to plan it out, and they'll be here in a month or so. So it's different. But I was always already preparing for it in Esbjerg, and I knew what I wanted to do and how I wanted things to go out. And I came to Austin, and I think the biggest surprise was honestly the travel and how hard it is on your body, because being on a bus for 12 hours is tough.
Especially as a tall guy, you don't got a lot of leg room at 6'7".
Like being 6'7" and having a 12-hour trip as a rookie is, not fun. So that was probably the biggest change, honestly.
So you were then selected in the import draft, first rounder, I may add. What was the conversation like with Medicine Hat? Did you know that you were going to go to the WHL? I'm always fascinated how it works, because it's not only the WHL. You could be going anywhere from Victoria to Nova Scotia. And how do you narrow that process down? Is that something that your agent takes care of before?
Yeah, I mean, once the season was over within Austin, then we just me and my agent sat down and we're kind of looking at teams, and he was calling and asking people, and teams were calling about me, and it was, for the most part, it was like kind of half so like we didn't really know if they're going to take me or not. And then my agent brought up Medicine Hat, and my goalie coach Al Rooney from Austin played with the general manager at that time for Medicine Hat, Sean Clouston, and they played together. So then Al called Sean and talked to him about me and how things would work and this and that. And they told my agent we're gonna select you. You're gonna come play for the Tigers. So I was super pumped for that. I was really, really excited, and just the whole situation in Medicine Hat was I was definitely meant to be there. Like, everyone was so nice to me. I had like an awesome billet family, and one thing is having an awesome Canadian billet family, but the mom was from Esbjerg, from Denmark, and I played with her nephew without even knowing of her. Like, it was the craziest situation you could ever imagine. And I still talk to them pretty much on a daily basis. Everything was just perfect there. I have zero bad things to say about that place.
Yeah, that's awesome. And especially when you can get a little bit of familiarity with someone that's from your home country as your billet mom. That's great that was able to set up nicely for you. Now, let's talk about on the ice, the difference. Like, off the ice, there's a lot of challenges you face, but now at least you had one season in North American setting of hockey. Now, what was the biggest difference when you went to the WHL as a goaltender for you that you really had to adjust?
I think coming into the league, I just thought the speed was the biggest thing. First of all, was how fast everything is moving and how good players are. I remember Sean telling me when I got to the league that you could expect that every night you play against someone that's going to be making millions in the NHL. And I was fascinated by that. I just thought that's crazy to even think about that. Like, here I am, 17 years old, and playing against future NHLers. I was still very kind of unknown, I guess you could say. Like, I didn't really break through until that I got my chance in Medicine Hat. So I was still very fascinated about everything, and was excited about the chance to come and play. And then just playing my first couple games, I remember having really good games, actually. I think the first two games I had close to 40 saves in both
Nice.
starts. But I remember thinking, if I have like a so-so game, I'm not gonna be doing well here. I have to be at my best every night. And I think my best was like what my best was became my average. And then I just kept building on that, and I had a lot of confidence going through the year. And without not even like thinking about it, like, it was my draft year, and I get NHL teams talking to me, and all of a sudden you're going to the top prospect game, and all of a sudden you're going to the draft with your family, and now you're an NHL draft pick. Like, it all happened so fast, you don't even realize what's going on. But looking back on it, it was an unbelievable year, and I'm so thankful for Medicine Hat giving me the chance and just everything and everyone helping me out.
Yeah, you went back to Medicine Hat after your draft. We got some draft questions. It's coming up, the 2-year anniversary, and it's the last live in-person draft. Crazy to think that almost 24 months ago now, but there's one part of that season. So you have a .921 save percentage with Medicine Hat. You're kicking out everything. How did you maintain that confidence? Now, it wasn't an ideal situation, being maybe undermanned a little bit, to be fair, but at the World Juniors didn't go your way with Denmark. So then how do you come back and kind of flush that in the past? Was that a big learning experience as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I got off to a really good start with Medicine Hat. I played some good games. I won a lot of hockey as well. And you're going to the World Juniors super confident and thinking we can really do something, and we start out getting blown out 14-0 by Canada, and you're kind of like, how do we go from here? Like what's the plan here? How we're gonna move on here? We still have a full tournament to play, and we just got we have a game in 24 hours. So yeah, I think the first game kind of took a breath out of me personally. And I was struggling throughout the tournament. I didn't play my best hockey, but after the tournament was done, I had some time in the airport by myself, and I decided just to, just gonna look through all the film, and I looked through all my games, saw all my clips, and just kind of said to myself, it's over. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to go back and help your team win in Medicine Hat. And that's all I could do. And then I came back, and, after a month of being on a team where you're kind of giving up more goals than usual, coming back, and I think we had a 1-1 game that we lost in overtime 2-1. And just gave me a lot of confidence. Even though we lost, we're really close. It's a 1-1 game. I can actually play hockey. This is not just, I didn't lose all my skill over a month of hockey or anything. I'm still a good goalie, and I can still improve and help my team win.
Yeah, and I think it's important for goalies to go through that adversity. Like you said, it's not always going to go your way, and you have to find a way to remain confident and remain positive that you can do this. So I think when you go through something like that, that's something that NHL teams are going to notice. And they did notice, apparently, because you had a lot of buzz around you in the 2019 draft. I heard a rumor that 27 different teams spoke to you. What was the draft interview process like? And was it kind of overwhelming having all these different teams speaking to you? Like, that takes a lot of time to go through 27 in-depth interviews.
Yeah, you know what? It was I had 27 meetings at the combine. I think I talked to 29 teams during the whole season. So there's only a couple teams I didn't speak to.
Who were the ones that you didn't speak with? Yeah.
I think I didn't talk to. I know Philadelphia wasn't one of them, and I forget who the other one was. But there's 2 teams I didn't talk to.
Right.
I know Philadelphia was one of them. I can't remember the other one, but other than that, I spoke to every other team. And it was kind of it was a crazy year. But especially going to the combine, that was where my eyes really opened up. And there's like a little meeting where they tell you how everything is going to be working and what you're going to do and this and that. And you get your paper handed out, and I look at my list, and I thought they made a mistake, because I see like so many things on my paper, and then I can't remember. I don't even know the guys I was sitting next to, but I look at their paper, and there's some stuff, but there's not like nearly as much. So I'm thinking they definitely made a mistake here. This is not how it should be. And I asked the guy about it, and he's like, no, you got to be there at this time and this time and this time. And I was just overwhelmed by that. But I mean, you get to speak to so many unbelievable persons, and like you get interviewed by like former NHL stars. I mean, going into I think when I got interviewed by Detroit. I'm sitting down and speaking to Steve Yzerman.
Wow.
Here I am, and I remember calling my dad because Steve Yzerman was my favorite, or my dad's favorite player. He was very jealous. He was almost asking me to take a picture with him. But no, it's just an awesome experience, and I think me being able to just take it all in and enjoy it while it was happening made it so much better. And looking back on it, it's pretty crazy what happened.
Yeah, awesome. And we're glad you ended up in Ottawa. You were the second goalie taken in that draft. Hell, in the last 5 years, only 5 goalies have been drafted ahead of you, a couple in the first round. And then you saw what happened in 2019 was really interesting. The first goalie went off the board. I'm not even going to try his name, a Russian goalie. And then Ottawa trades up immediately thinking, hey, maybe somebody's going to take Mads before we get a chance. So they move up 7 picks. Now, are you sitting there when you see the trade? Are you pretty sure that they're going to take you, or was it waiting until the name got called?
Wait, so what happened was, I remember, I think the first goalie was taken my year was Spencer Knight.
Oh, true. I missed him in the first round. The second goalie was one
in the first round, and I came out of the first round the day, and then I was talking to my agent, and he's like, "That's a good thing, because that's going to be moving everything up and something like that." And then they were talking about, I heard people talk about, like, when one's goalie is going to be taken, then the goalie train is going to be rolling and goalies are going to be selected. And then this Russian guy got taken by Carolina. And then I heard there's a trade, and I thought, okay, the goalie train is going to be going and there's a chance for me. I know I'm in the rankings. I'm right about the third, kind of second or third, fourth goalie ranked in the draft. So there's a chance of me going here. So I was very excited to see where the trade was going to end up and who got the pick. And when I heard Ottawa, I looked at my brother, and my brother was getting some big eyes because he's been a Sens fan for maybe even like 5-6 years before I even got drafted to Ottawa.
That's awesome.
So he was getting some big eyes, and like he was very, very pumped. And obviously,
who's your brother's favorite Senator all time?
Well, all time, I think it's Daniel Alfredsson.
Yeah,
great answer.
But at the moment, it was Brady Tkachuk, and Brady was there at the draft, and he was out at the kind of meet and greet lounger, where you get to see your family after. And my brother is always like a guy that's not afraid to speak up or anything. And I think me and Shane Pinto are standing and talking to Brady Tkachuk, and my brother's standing right next to me, and he's like, I've never seen him be so shy. I literally have to be like, hey, say hi to this guy. That's your favorite player. So, he was very excited about that. And just me going to camp and like telling him how things work around there. I mean, it's obviously exciting for me to go to an NHL camp and be around NHL guys, but also for him, like, it's his favorite team. He loves watching them. He follows them. He's watching as much hockey as he can and following every result. Obviously, it's difficult with the time difference here, but he's watching as much as he can, and he's a real Senators fan for sure. So I think he's very pumped about what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think it's safe to say we got a Sens fan for life in your brother now that you're on the team as well. And hey,
oh yeah, the first thing he told me was I'm taking that jersey right after.
Nice. Hey, you got the right last name on there, so he's ready to go.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah. So when you go down to the stage and you're with Pinto and you're talking to Brady, what's Brady saying to you? What's that like?
Well, he's just welcoming us and asking about it, and just being a really good person. I mean, it's pretty surreal. You see the guy playing in the NHL, and all of a sudden he's standing there talking to you, and it's just awesome. It's hard to even like think back on because so much stuff happened, but it's awesome. Like you get to meet all these people and go down and like you meet so many people and you get to talk to so many great people, and then it's just a quick turnaround. You're going straight to Ottawa from there, and then camp's going on, and so many new faces. But it's definitely one of the best things I've ever experienced.
Well, one of those faces was me right behind the net at Dev Camp, one of my favorite times of the year. And we got to see, I know Brady was a one and done. He wasn't there in 2019. He was already, preparing for the NHL season. But what's it like at that development camp? I know that you've got a great relationship with a couple of the other guests on our show, with Kevin Mandalese and Joey Dax as well. What was the dynamic like going into that situation, your first Dev Camp?
Well, obviously a lot of excitement. I mean, going into your first development camp is pretty awesome. Very excited for it and everything. And Kevin was my roommate, and I got up to the room. We had a meeting that night, and I got up to the room and he got there, and then we got to sit down and talk for a little bit, and he was being super nice and just like kind of telling me how things are rolling and how things go and what you do and what you don't. And right after I walked down, and I get to meet Joey as well, and all of us just clicks. I mean, even Gus as well. Like, we're all having fun, and we're really enjoying our time that week, and obviously competing and helping each other on the ice too, but definitely off the ice. I mean, I think we went to dinner every single night, so we had a really good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, the four of you are probably going to see a lot of each other as young prospects in this organization. Now, I want to ask you, when you're at Dev Camp and you're on the ice, who are some of the shooters that really gave you a hard time? I mean, probably Brady was a guy that definitely you noticed, but who were some of the shooters that were really tough that you maybe didn't have a full profile on before, but surprised you a little?
Well, I think it's even hard to just pick one. I think it kind of goes as the same thing as like going to the WHL and everything. It's just a new level, and you go up and everyone's just better. And, you have that maybe 3 guys on your own team that really can shoot the puck. Well, now you got a full team that can really shoot the puck. Everyone is super good at it, but it's kind of hard to even like pick out a couple guys. I know Angus Crookshanks just has a really good shot. There's a couple other Jonathan Davidson, I remember, what I thought was really tough to stop too. Couple guys.
You mentioned shooters, and I asked Igor about you. We've had Igor Sokolov on the show. That guy can rip a puck as well. He said that he didn't know you long enough to know any weird goalie superstitions, though, that you might have. Is there anything that makes you kind of quirky as a goalie?
I don't know. Well, even Igor, that was my first time getting on the ice with him when I got to Belleville here, but he can definitely rip the puck. That's for sure. You got to be awake when he's going, but I don't know. I kind of just have my routine. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you.
Like,
guys.
Do you put one side of your gear on first? I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm always like a left side first. That's pretty much the only thing. I mean, the whole thing for me getting to the rink around game time, it's the same thing. You're not going to have any trouble finding me at different places. I'm at the same place at the same time every night, and I think one of the things I do is I go shower when I go to the rink, and then I get in my undergarments, and then I'll be going to the bench to listen to some music and tape my stick, and then do some visualization. And I do that before every game, and something I just like a little time to quiet down and calm the nerves and just prepare for the game.
Yeah, I was similar in my preparation too. Like, you want to be on your own and kind of mentally be able to go through the game. Now, when you're on the bench and you got the music pumping, what kind of tunes you got going?
Oh man, I'm trying to calm myself down.
So not heavy metal.
For hockey games, but no heavy metal. More like country music, just to relax and take a deep breath, and nothing too crazy. I'm pretty calm when I'm playing too. Not overly stressed about anything. Just trying to let the game come to me. Let the puck come to me. Not chase the game too much. And I think it sounds stupid, but listening to some calm music and country music like that, I think that helps me to just have a calm mind and let me play my game.
Man, I was half expecting you to say like Nordic spa music or whatever, like just that, really slow
sounds of water
melody.
and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I gotta be a little bit more pumped up than that.
So you're not are you in the soccer circle as well?
No, I mean, sometimes when I'm on the bench, I'll go play a little bit of soccer, but when I'm playing, I have my own routine, and there's no soccer involved in that.
All right, well, let's get into you actually playing. So you went over back to Denmark with an organization you were familiar with, and don't think we're going to skim over the wacky way you got into the World Championships this year, but it's already a strange year. And then you sign, you come over, you're with the Belleville Sens. How quickly did you get comfortable? Strange year, we know you can't, have the same sort of off-ice camaraderie as you would in past years, but how quickly were you comfortable? Because on the ice, it looked seamless.
I mean, like right at the get-go, I mean, everyone was so nice to me. I knew a couple of guys from development camp, and everyone was just so welcoming to me and made me feel right at home, like right from the get-go. So I felt pretty good right from when I got there. On the ice, it was a little bit of an adjustment, even though it didn't look like it game-wise. But just like trying to figure out how to play the most efficient way and how to be successful. And I think Justin Peters has done an awesome job with me already. I mean, we've been working for maybe a month and a half or so, and I just feel I've made a lot of strides already just in that month, and it's been awesome. So a lot of props to him because he's really doing his job really good. So very excited to work with him and keep on developing. So that's a big thing. But I mean, also like just the guys around the rink. There's a couple guys I played against out in junior: Mark Kaslik, Parker Kelly.
The shift disturber
Reinhardt.
we call Parker Kelly. That guy just gets under everyone's skin, eh?
Yeah, I know. I mean, he puts on his game face and he has no friends on the ice. So, it's awesome to be honest on his side for once.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, like Ross said, it was a weird year with the pandemic. You head over to Denmark. Now, when you're over in Denmark, was it kind of a goal for you to make your way to Belleville? Because if you would have started in the WHL, you wouldn't have got that opportunity. Whereas now you have the opportunity to do that. When you're playing in Denmark, was there conversations between you and the team, like talking about that? Or what was that, a personal goal you had? Or what was the kind of scenario leading up to going to Belleville?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here back home thinking I'm going to be heading back to Medicine Hat, playing my last year there. And, times just keep ticking. And, you look at, it's my contract year. I got to sign a contract. Otherwise I'm going back into the draft, and time's ticking, and you want to improve yourself and show that you deserve a contract. So, it just got like to a point where, I just said to myself, I want to play now. I'm not going to be waiting around anymore. I want to play, and I want to play now. So, I called my agent, and we kind of talked about it, and, out of nowhere, I got a call from Esper, saying that, they would like to bring me down for the rest of the season. And I was like, well, I can't do that, because if Medicine Hat wants me back, then I'm going to go back. But quickly, I got down there, and I liked the hockey. I thought the league was actually better than I expected it to be. There's some pretty good players actually. So it was a lot of fun going down there, and just getting to play pro hockey as well. I mean, it might not be at the AHL level, but it's still pro hockey, and that's a first for me. I hadn't tried that before, so it was good. And I think more than anything, I was just trying to prove myself to get a contract, and then me getting to Belleville was just like an extra thing, like a plus. So I think more than anything, I was just trying to prove myself for a contract.
Well, it worked out to be a plus. You go 7-0, still haven't lost at the AHL level. And after every one of your games, we tweet out at Send Central like 6-0, but we'd put the large O with the dash through it, like in your last name. And people are just absolutely loving it. Hell, Saeed Kuda, we got to shout him out. Obviously, you're a big guy. You're Danish. So the Great Dane nickname kicked in right away. And that's carried a life of its own. We love to see that. Now, with Belleville, this was a situation they went through all season long. But the third period, they gave up a lot more shots than they were getting. As a goalie, do you prefer to be peppered early in the game or work your way through a couple periods? Maybe it's a 1-goal game either way, and then have to stand tall in the third.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I think usually I'd like to be more peppered in the beginning of the game because you're all fresh and you're feeling the puck early and you have a good feel the rest of the game. But I've just kind of worked my way to like not worry too much about when the shots are going to come, because they're going to come at some point. So just trying to stay focused all the time and not worry about when they're going to come. So honestly, I don't even have a preference now. Obviously, I think every goalie would agree on me with saying that it's nice to get a good couple of touches early in the game just to get a good feeling. But like whether I get 5 shots in the first period and 20 in the third, it doesn't matter. The job stays the same. You gotta stop the puck and you gotta give your team a chance to win. And luckily, I had some pretty good guys around me for my time in Belleville, and I played some good hockey as well. I didn't play my best every night, but I think more than anything, I was able to make some key saves here and there, and put the team in a good position. And I mean, obviously, it just collided with the team starting to play very well as well as I got there. So it was just a perfect scenario for me.
Yeah, and I mean, your 7-0 record speaks for itself, and you got to experience a lot of different things on that Belleville team in the short time you were there. So now that the season's over, you're back home in Denmark. What are your goals for the off season? Like, is there certain things where you're like, this is the one thing I'm going to improve on, or by the end of the off season, I want to be able to do this, or what are your goals like while you're working away from the game?
I think just for me getting stronger, building on my already big body, just getting stronger. And I mean, like on the ice, there's a lot of technical stuff I'm still working on and trying to get better at. But just playing the right way for me. I think we got a good plan in Belleville with Justin Peterson of how I'm going to be making it to the NHL, and just like trying to execute that plan every day. Always have that mindset of getting to be an NHL starting goalie, and that's what I'm trying to do every day. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you do the right things throughout a long enough time, and you do it on a consistent basis, there's going to come a time and a chance, and it's up to yourself to grab it. So just putting the work in every day and trying to learn and get stronger, and do what I can to develop.
So you mentioned that you were always a bigger kid compared to the rest of your age group, but like, dude, are you still growing? Like, you'd be the tallest.
No, I haven't been growing for a couple of years now, so I don't think so, but who knows?
Awesome. Okay, we'll get you out of this with a couple fun ones. Mads, like all white gear. What's going on with that? I've seen you've gotten it figured out. The new True gear looks absolutely sick, but the all whites, what's going on, man?
Well, you know what? It was more of just like a practice set for me when I was gonna be here in Denmark. I didn't even think about it, but when I received my gear, it was back in maybe October. I received my gear, and my best buddy loves designing gear for me. He helped me out with the pads as well and everything.
You mean Joey? I feel like Dax spends his entire offseason planning out his gear.
Oh yeah, well Dax helps me out as well. I'm sending him screenshots before, and I'm waiting for his approval as well. So, but no, he's my best buddy. He's really he likes nice equipment and everything. So I get into the rink with my all new white gear, and he just looks weird at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Why didn't you put any colors on?" I was like, "It's just a practice set." And he goes, "So you got to be looking good in practice as well." I'm like, "Oh man, I'll remember that."
Yeah,
But,
good.
That's just that was the whole thing about it. It was just I just thought it was just a practice set, and I ended up playing with it for the full season. So yeah, it's kind of a weird situation, but we'll be hopefully be looking better next season.
Oh, you got to figure it out. The
Yeah,
truth is awesome.
For sure. And I mean, Ross and I, as goalies, we like to say the phrase "look good, play good." So that's definitely a big part of it.
It definitely helps if you look down and you're looking good.
Exactly. I mean, then at least you look good. Maybe you didn't play good, but at least you got half the battle there. So
exactly.
So you're talking about, designing some equipment and stuff. So we got to ask, what about the helmet? What about your mask design? We had Dax's guy, Shifty, the guy who designed his helmet. He had a lot of great stories and a lot of insight on how goalie helmets are designed. So what are some ideas that you've got cooking for your mask?
I already I received my mask a couple of days ago.
That
will be.
Are we going to see the release soon?
I will be sending out a release on Instagram in a couple of days. But David Gunnarsson made my helmet, and very happy with the outcome for sure. So stay tuned for that.
Is it going to be Sens themed? Like, I'm assuming the Bees got to be in there. Any hints, or we have to wait for the grand unveiling?
This my first helmet is an Ottawa Senators helmet.
Perfect. And I mean, your brother wouldn't let it be any other way, eh?
No, he's happy about it too, for sure.
So everybody's got to go give you a follow if you aren't already on Instagram, mads.Søgaard, 2 A's in there, and the helmet release is coming soon. Mads, we really appreciate you taking some time with us. Goalie-friendly show, and your insight was a welcome addition to our show. We can't wait to see whether it's going to be a development camp or next September, but be well, keep working hard, man. And Sens fans are really fired up for the Great Dane to make his impact in a full season in Belleville. So have a great summer, man. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.